Hello, welcome back to another edition of Gacha News. Before we dive into things, I just want to say a few words. I want to personally thank Nolar for allowing me to work on the show. Initially, I was just going to help out a little, but now I write for the show weekly, and I'll be hosting more regularly now, which is very exciting. So I appreciate you, boss, for giving me the opportunity. And shout out to Sly, of course, for being a great co-host and writer. And can't forget our artist Steven, who updated the set, models, and even whipped us a neat logo. You too, editor. I didn't forget about you, you hunk. Anyways, Gacha News may have a slightly different look, but think of it as the season 2 of the show. Nothing's really changing. As always, if you like the video, gently tap the thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe to stay in the know of everything 5-9. With all that out of the way, let's get into this week's news. More details about Final Fantasy VII, The First Soldier, will come out tomorrow, May 7th. Unfortunately, with the timing of the live stream, we won't be able to cover what exactly will be revealed. We do know that the livestream will disclose new info and will be in Japanese with English subtitles. The livestream airs at 4 a.m. Pacific time, which is 7 a.m. for my fellow East Coast folk. So I imagine most of you will probably be asleep. If you like to watch the livestream, make sure to visit Square Enix's official Twitch page, which should have a VOD, assuming they don't delete it for whatever reason. But don't worry, whatever comes out from the presentation, we will definitely cover it in next week's episode of Gacha News, so stay tuned. Big F's in the chat for this next story. Brave Frontier will be ending development on its global version. Funny enough, the game's Japanese version actually ended development a few years ago, leaving only the global version. For those of you that might not know of Brave Frontier, it's been around for 7 years, which is very impressive in the gacha world. If you're an old head gacha veteran beast, you probably know all about Brave Frontier's gradual decline. But if you're like me and played like 2 gachas ever, you probably are not too familiar. Well, allow me to give a quick summary. Basically, the game came out and was a success, but it eventually suffered heavily from power creep on a regular basis. And when sequels and spin-offs came out, they unfortunately didn't do so well. All hope isn't lost for hardcore fans of the game though. Brave Frontier will remain playable, but it won't have any new content releases. The current plan for the title is that it will receive monthly updates to events like the Coliseum, Super Karma Dungeon, Super Lab, monthly login bonuses, and a few others. Things that are going to be placed on hold are new units, guild raids, and Vortex events. If you'd like to see the developer letter that mentions every single thing that's sticking around and what's not, please use the link in the description below for more information. You know, even with the game presumably stopping development indefinitely, it is nice to see that the developers still have things in place for players that want to continue playing their game. Users will still be able to do all previous Vortex dungeons, and they'll be able to summon via a hero selector ticket with the summon gate still up as well. This leads me to a question I'd like to ask you guys. Would you like to see other gachas remain playable in some form after ceasing development? Or would you rather the game completely shut down altogether and just move on? Let us know in the comments. This gacha was among some of the first to really get big back in the day, so if you'd like to try, it's available for Android and iOS for global and JP. Arknights is currently in the middle of its 2nd anniversary, and you know what that means: free stuff, new fancy units, and events galore. The event surrounding the 2nd anniversary is titled Under Tides, which is a special side story made for the celebration. Stages for the event will be released in parts. The first part, titled Corrupted Salty Wind, having been released already on the 1st of May, the second part, Wave Erosion Ruins, will release on the 8th. Both parts will no longer be playable after the 16th. If players complete missions towards the Try to Survive event, they'll be rewarded with event currency, which can be exchanged for unique furniture, headhunting permits, high-tier materials, with the big reward being the 6-star unit Gladia. Be warned, the event currency will only be obtainable until the 22nd of May, so act fast if you want Gladia. In terms of new units, there will be 4, including Gladia. The other 3 units are Akafuyu, a 5-star who has the ability to self-heal upon attacking enemies. Next up is Kaltsit, a 6-star unit that can heal allies while performing basic attacks. And last up is Skadi, the Corrupting Heart, a 6-star who can provide allies with attack and defense buffs while granting those at range with HP regeneration. Skadi is special because she is the only new unit that won't return until April 1st of next year. All the other units will join the standard headhunting banner after May 13th. If you don't think you'll be lucky enough to pull these units, don't worry. There'll be daily free summons via login bonuses, so you're bound to land something good. Probably. Various items will also be handed out to players through login bonuses as well, just not after May 15th. There's a ton more to go through, so if you'd like to see everything again, please look in the description below for more details. Arknights is a mobile tower defense RPG that's available for global, CN, and JP for both Android and iOS devices. So if you're into tower defense games, why not give it a try? If you're a Girls Frontline fan, you're eating pretty good right now. A new gameplay for Girls Frontline 2 Exilium was just recently shown off along with a brief cinematic trailer and some lounge footage. With the new trailers dropping, it was also announced that the closed beta for the game will be coming next month in June. Unfortunately, it won't be localized in English. The game is set in the year 2070, some years after the first title, and it aims to bring the series to new heights in terms of graphics. As you can see in the trailer, it is pretty impressive for a mobile title. Currently, there is no word on the game being localized, but with the original Girls Frontline receiving multiple versions for different regions, it would be surprising if the game stayed exclusive to China. If you're looking to get in on some Girls Frontline action right now, the original game is available for Android and iOS for global, JP, Chinese, and Korean regions. D4DJ Groovy Mix announced its official release date for global. The game will drop on the 27th of this month. For those of you that have made JP accounts already, you'll be happy to hear that you'll be able to transfer the account over to the English version when it releases. The only caveat being that the games will be split, meaning certain songs and events will remain JP exclusive, but the developer promises to run on a timeline very close to the JP version. Hopefully the game won't have a situation like Dokkan, but then again, some like this time gap between versions to help determine if they should save when preparing to summon. Getting back on track, when doing account transfers, exclusive event items for JP will not be able to be brought over to the English version. Instead, the game will provide players appropriate compensation to make up for it. D4DJ is a free-to-play mobile rhythm game that plays pretty similarly to Guitar Hero. So if you think Guitar Hero or Rock Band, but with anime music on your phone. If that sounds up your alley, you can play D4DJ Groovy Mix on Android and iOS for JP right now, and on global when it releases this month on the 27th. There's been an update about Nier Reincarnation's upcoming global release. An official statement was given out by the game's director stating that the localization for the initial release has been completed. The team is just wrapping up the final adjustments before pre-registration starts. The director issues another apology to eager global players, urging them to wait just a little bit longer before pre-registration is available. Even though we still don't know about Reincarnation's release date, with the promise of the game's director saying pre-registration will arrive soon, one could expect a release window sometime this summer, and if not, definitely this year. Hopefully. Nier Reincarnation is currently available for Android and iOS for JP, with the global version being playable on the same platforms sometime in the future. Speaking of news about Nier, a certain Magical Index Imaginary Fest will be having a collaboration with characters from both Nier Replicant and Nier Automata. The crossover event will feature an exclusive gacha banner along with a fully voiced scenario. Characters from a certain Magical Index Imaginary Fest will be wearing clothes from the two Nier games. For example, Index will be wearing Emil's outfit, Oriana Thompson will be wearing Kaine's outfit, which is basically lingerie, let's just be honest with ourselves here, and Accelerator will be wearing the protagonist's clothing from Nier Replicant. Don't worry, there's some Autonoma love here as well. One for 2B, and one for A2. Since we're on the subject of characters, players can get 3-star Index and Emil attire through the scenario event. The scenario will only be playable until the 11th of May, with all other collaboration rewards available until the 14th. A Sir Magical Index Imaginary Festival for Android and iOS devices for JP. We have another week of Konosuba Gacha news, and this time, characters from that series will appear in another game and not the other way around. Swordmaster will be receiving 6 new characters from Konosuba during the collaboration, which will run until the 31st of May. And those characters coming will be Megumin, Darkness, Kazuma, Aqua, Yunyun, and Wiz, all with their own unique sprites. Each character will have different skills and attributes. For example, Aqua will be a 5-star healer, whereas Darkness will be a 5-star that will act as a damage dealer with the capability of providing support as well. In the crossover event, players can get 5-star Aqua for free simply by logging in for 7 days. Monsters from the original anime will also make an appearance in the event dungeon, where players can earn collab coins, which can be exchanged for 5-star character tickets. Swordmaster is a hack-and-slash action RPG that's available for Android and iOS for global, JP, and Korea. And to finish things off on my end, popular anime and recent blockbuster Demon Slayer will be having a collaboration with Puzzle and Dragons. And beyond the initial announcement of it coming to global, there really hasn't been anything else revealed. Since the collaboration launched a couple months back on the JP side of things, we do know that characters like Tanjiro, Nezuko, Zenitsu, and Inosuke will be coming along with a lot of other characters. It's safe to assume that this crossover event will operate similarly, if not exactly the same way it did with JP. Puzzle Dragons, of course, is a puzzle game where you match stuff, so it's very easy to pick up. Not to mention very accessible. If you'd like to participate in the collaboration when it eventually drops, Puzzle & Dragons is available for Android and iOS worldwide. And that's it for me this week. Time to hand it over to my co-host Sly, who happens to look very sharp today. I like the drip, man. Anyways, take it away, pal.
Thanks, Iron. Felt the wardrobe change was necessary. Feel more comfortable in this too. And welcome to the team. One Piece Treasure Cruise is getting a treasure map Sugo Fest that will be split into 3 parts. Now I know this may sound scary, but all 3 of the new units, Kid Luffy, Kid Ace, and Kid Sabo, will be on all 3 banners. Only 1 unit per banner will change. Part 1 will have Christmas Chopper, Part 2 will have Christmas Vivi and Rebecca, and Part 3 will have Christmas Shirahoshi and Manshari. Part 1 starts tonight, May 5th, at the time of the recording. Part 2 starts today, May 6th, at the time the video goes live. And Part 3 begins on the 7th. All of them will end at the same time on May 12th. The 3 new units will be recruited at max level with the following unlocked powers. Charge specials will be maxed, bind resistance is maxed, despair resistance is maxed, and auto heal is maxed. We received the official in-game notice for the This Month in Dragalia Lost, and boy did we get some really good information. Starting off, they will be adding 3 new dragons to the Trials of the Mighty event, Kamui, Chthonius, and Mars. Kamui will award the Convictions and Devotions to Mana Spiral Nurse Aileen, Chthonius will award the Convictions and Devotions to Mana Spiral Gala Alex, and Mars will grant the Convictions and Devotions to Mana Spiral Yukata Cassandra. Kamui is out right now and will run until May 12th and will return at the start of the next rotation set. The Agents of the Goddess Facility event will also be returning on May 17th, so adventurers who wield staffs or axes will gain bonus stats from this event. There was also news for the Fire Emblem collaboration events. Lost Heroes and Kindred Ties will be added to the event compendium on May 17th. Alongside these events will come both parts of the summon banners. Units such as Tiki, Peony, and Veronica are valuable and have much potential in supporting your teams and are sought after even now by most players. On top of all this, we will be receiving the Legend difficulty for the Twins Akito event, Ayaha and Otaha, towards the end of May. Same with all Legend Akito events, you can only bring water-attuned adventurers and dragons. Good luck to those attempting this. Pokemon Masters has received the legendary event for Ghetsis and Kyurem, and thankfully they added this sync pair in. They are a great ice type attacker. While Kyurem is a single target sync attacker, his attack called Glaciate is an AoE that does lower the target speed. His other attack called Noble Roar is a single target and decreases the target's attack and special attack. Combine this effect with his Noble Roar double drop ability in his sync grid, and the stats will lower twice as quick. Pair this with Pecking Order and Overpower, both also in the sync grid, he will be doing a bunch of damage to enemies. Champion Iris and Hydreigon are also Ghetsis and Kyurem's best partner, since Iris has AoE attacks that lower attack and special attack. Alongside Ghetsis, the Pokefair Scout for Alder will rerun. And the Blissey event is also making its return, so be sure to stock up on Lucky Skill cookies as much as possible. Some new leaks coming from Grand Cross. Quick disclaimer before we tackle these leaks. These files change every day and may not be the final version, so take with a grain of salt. Some new units were added. Estarossa during the Holy War era. Gowther and Grey Road were also added under the Demon Race, so Wheelchair Gowther is a possibility. There will also be new characters from the Disasters team, with one possibly being different. An example of this would be Valenti Mark II or Evil Lilia. There are also files for story continuation for Chapter 18. That is all for this week's Gacha News. I'm your co-host Sly, signing us off here at 5-9 Gaming. Have a great weekend, everybody.